folks, and welcome back once again to another great episode of Home Built Happiness. You're tuned in to the EARTHBAG Shed Build episode 5. And folks, if you haven't seen episode 1, you're new to the channel, first thing, click up here in the top corner. That's a link to episode 1. You can start with us from the beginning and get caught up to this point. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, get up to date on everything that's coming out as it comes out by clicking that subscribe button. And if you like the content, press the like button. That lets not only YouTube, but it lets us know that we're putting out content that you folks like. And if you have any questions or concerns, if you don't know what I'm doing, ask. I love to answer questions. And if you do know what you're doing and I'm not doing something right, I'm reinventing the wheel here. I'm learning just like everybody else. Feel free to let me know. Be nice about it. It's not easy out here. All right, folks, let's get to work. Trailer when it came out here, and now we're almost in the very back of it. We just did 37 feet gravel tubing, and I don't have to remind myself my back does a real good job of that. Things usually come in threes, and between this weather and my back, that's two things right there telling me it's about time to wrap this up. I don't want to know what the third thing is. I'm hoping it's a nice cold beverage though. So we're gonna wrap up here. In this episode, it's kind of awesome because we're done with gravel. We dug a trench, we filled that trench with gravel, we made a stem wall with basically hyper adobe tubes with gravel in them. We've taken that up to about 12 inches above grade where we need it to be. And now we're moving on to actual earth bags, meaning that we're taking this hyper adobe tubing and we're actually putting earth into it. I'm not gonna lie, folks, the game changes in a big way. So instead of just taking gravel and just bringing it right off the trailer, right into the bags and tamping it, now we've got to get the earth. We have to make sure the earth is free of any organic material. And what I'm doing is sifting it. And then we got to get it here. We got to get it in the mixer. We got to add the water to the earth. Then we've got to dump it into a bucket. Then get it into the bag. So there's a little bit more. And then also we have to make sure that composition of earth is going to work. We don't want too much clay because we don't want it to shrink. We don't want cracks to develop in it. And as you can see right here on the bottom of this frame, I've done one without you because I wanted to see if I had it right. And I did. I have a test bag that's perfect. I have another bag that's perfect. And then I got a little overzealous and I started wanting to add Portland cement into it and doing a couple different things to try to strengthen it. That didn't work out too well, but it's okay. We're gonna save it. We're not gonna worry about that. All right, folks, let's get to work. Okay, so I want to take a minute to talk to y'all about the consistency of what we're mixing here. And as you saw earlier in this video, it's been a learning curve for me. And you know, I've read a lot of books on this, and they all say that it's a feel. You know, they give you a couple examples, but it's a feel that you're looking for. And it's been kind of hard for me to get down to a science, but I think I'm there. It changes depending on the type of earth that you're working with, so I can't give you an ounce per pound ratio or anything like that, but I can show you what works for me. So right here we have fresh earth inside of this drum. If you see, if I try to ball it up, it just kind of falls apart. You can also see dust coming out too. We don't want that. So right there is where I'm gonna stop. But I'm gonna tilt it down, make the mixing a little bit more aggressive. Now as you notice, it doesn't really look like it's like all that wet. So it still looks pretty dry, right? But if I grab it now, see how it locks up? And I can actually move it around. Now it'll still break up, but if I give it that initial squeeze, it actually makes a clump that I can work with. You don't want that grass in there. That's what we're going for. We can make it a tiny bit wetter, but not much. You don't want the clay and the soil to start forming these balls. You want to kind of keep that as minimal as you can. If it gets too wet and turns to mud, you'll actually see it the way it's starting to come out and bulge through right there. Also, it makes it more expansive. When that dries, I guarantee you tomorrow we can look at it, we'll have cracks in it. It'll compact too much, it'll also start to come out the sides, and when you tamp it, it'll make kind of a sound, almost like a gelatinous kind of sound. If you don't get it wet enough, it's going to turn to dust inside the bag. It will tamp correctly, but you're going to watch it come out like a salt and pepper shaker when you go to tamp it. And if you're trying to jerk and work around with the bag, as you saw, it can rip right down the side. And if it does, there are ways to deal with this that I've learned. I haven't read them anywhere. They might not be right, but if it gets the wall done, I think it'll be right. You know what I mean? Like that old saying that, is an idea really stupid if it works? Kind of the same principle. That's the thing about building with this material, is that it's very, very, very forgiving. I only need this hyper adobe tubing to hold until it sets up. After that, it's on its own, and it's going to do okay. There's a few other things that we'll discuss, and it ain't going to happen today. For now, I'm ready for a shower.